Hey, True Believers, England here with another episode of Marvel vs. DC, and of course I add on independents nowadays. And just to give you a heads up, this is late. I should have had this one out for a while now. The books you see passing by here are the books that I'm going to be reviewing, and they're going to be quick. This is what I felt, just to give you an idea. Are they good? Are they bad? They're going to be in order from worst to best that I have read in the past, 3 weeks, I guess. These should still be on the stand. Some have just been replaced either this week or maybe even last. Like I said, I'm a little bit late on this one, and I apologize. The grading is pretty easy. 1 star is horrible, 2 stars bad, 3 stars average, 4 stars is good, and 5 stars are excellent. And unfortunately, I haven't had a 5-star in a long time. Nothing I've been compelled to put 5 stars on. Good books, yeah, but I just haven't had that excellent one. I'm still waiting. Anyway, usually I do a correlation to find out who wins the month or the week or whatever it is, but unfortunately I haven't had too many Marvel or independent comic books come around the bend, so this is just a straight up from worst to best list. So, with all that aside, let's get this party started. The 1-star books are horrible, and I advise you stay away from them at all costs. Avengers Empire 0. I have to admit, I am not a usual Avengers reader, and this book didn't help me out at all. In general, you got it, like Stanley said, you have to treat every issue as if it was someone's first issue. Kind of catch them up, and this one didn't do it, at least not for me. And I think that kind of bodes unwell for their big crossover. It has to be a little bit more accessible than Avengers Empire proved to be. The 2-star books are bad. They could have been awful, but maybe they just had that one little saving grace. Dark Knight's Death Metal sure does exist, doesn't it? I can't tell you. I mean, okay, so it's done well. It is another Dead Earth kind of story, but I'm reading over in Deceased, and that story is just kicking all sorts of ass, up, down, left, right, and this one it's just flatlined right out. It's boring. I'm sorry, there's nothing compelling in this book to me. God bless you if you like it. It just, The Birds of Prey. So this is the movie version of The Birds of Prey. And it was a $10 book, by the way. Anybody have $10? I'll give you a book. It was so much, oh my God, it's a graphic novel size. It really is. It's a huge story. But only half of it is relevant. The other half is just them trying to get together, but it isn't even giving us a lot of story as it does it, and overall it's a big old nothing burger. The Adventures of Captain Marvel, number 5. This is a kid's book, and I understand it's not written for the adults, not written for me, but still they should be entertaining and they should be enjoyable. There is some entertainment to be had here. I did like the Wasp throughout it. Captain Marvel's just been ruined by Marvel, and this has both of them shrunk, and they're trying to get back to natural size, and unfortunately they can't. I would love to sing the praises. I think there's potential here, but unfortunately it just hasn't been met yet. The Boys, Dear Becky, number 1. So they're going after kind of like Shazam, very much a Shazam avatar in this one. It still is a book about horrible people doing horrible things, and I just can't get behind these. At least, I always say this, in the TV show, there was a little bit of likability to everybody. You could relate, and I couldn't relate to anyone in this book, even though I did try. So, I'm reading through this, and it is a whole bunch of Lois Lane being pressured by the government while Superman's fighting Mongol, and the dialogue really doesn't have anything to do with Superman fighting Mongol through most of it, and in the end they make Superman the king of the world. Not really, they make him the ambassador to aliens, but since he's the strongest one on the planet, they're just, I can't see the rest of the universe not thinking Superman's king of the world. The 3-star books, they're average. They may have not resonated with me, or I liked them, just not enough to recommend them. The New Mutants are sent to Russia to help a mutant who is covering the area in darkness. They need to get him out of there before the Russian government kills him, because they don't like mutants because of what the X-Men has been doing. So this should be a more powerful story. There should be a lot of emotion here, but unfortunately I can't help but think of what the X-Men have been doing, and I think that removes a lot of this. You can't do what you did to the world and then play victim, and that's kind of what they're doing here. Sabrina, the Teenage Witch, Something Wicked. Man, I was a little bit disappointed in this one. And granted, it is in the average. It's a 3-star book, so I'm not saying it's bad. It's just one more book. I got to tell you, I probably had way too much high hope in this one. I do like the Archie series, and I kind of like their approach to these, but this is a flat line. While it begins well, and she's casting a spell to help a friend, ultimately it's a girl in high school talking to other girls in high school. Batman 43 is it really is, the story is better than the plot. Like, anytime they weren't dealing with Terry and the fact that he's more aggressive now that he's back, it kind of fell flat for me, and that's why it's in the 3-star books here. It still has a good potential, but I don't think it's lived up to it yet. I think if they push that, like, he's afraid, so he's being more vicious. I think if they push that narrative, it's going to be a lot better. Star Wars, Dr. Aphra, #1. This is eye candy, really. This is exactly how, I guess, modern-day Star Wars could be. You could go in and enjoy those Star Wars films if you disconnect yourself from the fact that it has anything to do with the other Star Wars movies. And then as you're leaving, you could absolutely forget everything that happened, and that is Dr. Aphra right here. While I was reading it, I enjoyed it. And then afterwards, I was like, okay, yeah, I don't need to move forward. What I saw was enough. I do have to admit, Justice League Odyssey #21 is being punished because of my own rules. I enjoyed it. I think it's a very exciting book. I think it's got some great ideas. That being said, if you have not been reading this book for a while and you pick this one up, you're going to be lost. This does not help the reader at all, seriously. And simple dialogue could do it, but they kind of mismanage that and mess it up. I think overall the whole story is good, but this one particular issue kind of falls flat. Wonder Woman 756. It's getting better. That's a sell point. No, seriously, it is a decent story. You got Wonder Woman in one battle, you've got Wonder Girl in another battle, and they come together to fight the big baddie. But make no mistake, as much as I like it, I recognize the fact that this is just filler until we get to the next issue. Adventure Man #1. Have you ever wanted to like something so much, and then when you read it, it's kind of a disappointment? That's Adventure Man to me. The art in the beginning, the cover here, everything about this book tells me, oh, you're going to love this. Pick it up, check it out. I like the first part of it. Then it becomes a story about a woman and her kid trying to figure out family, I guess. I don't know, the history of Adventure Man and everything, and it kind of hits a wall and never recovers. Batman and the Outsiders #13. It's a downtime issue. You know, it's one of those where it's in between the adventures. You know they're going to get the big fight, and they're talking about all the insecurities that they have and how to deal with them. And, of course, we're getting a lot of the leadership insecurities with Black Lightning. I'm like, God, he's been around for quite a while. All right, can we cut it with the leadership insecurities with the character and just move on, get to the action? We know he's capable. I really like this issue. I did. I'm liking the story that's leading up to the Joker War. However, this book is incredibly flawed, and to get there, you have to ignore a whole bunch of stuff. There are plot holes and things they need to fix to make this a legitimately good book. Personally, I enjoyed this, but I do know it's so flawed, and there are so many holes in it that I cannot recommend it. That's why it is right where it is in the 3-star books. The 4-star books are good, and I am legitimately proud to recommend them to you. Full disclosure, this was in the 3 stars, but as I was talking about it, I realized, wow, you know what? I do like this book more than I was letting on. And it's all atmosphere. This woman comes to a small town because her father gets killed, and she's doing the detective thing. And while I read it the first time, I was like, it's okay. But the more I talked about it, the more I do like the art, the more I do like the storyline, the characters. Of course, the woman's the tough girl that everybody's afraid of, but they don't let her play it off, and I think that helps a lot. The Grieving kind of came out of nowhere and impressed. Tell you the truth, it's about a bunch of kids go to a graveyard and they see, you know, the weirdo, the outsider. She's there talking to her mom's grave. It's Halloween night. They push her around a little bit, make fun of her until they actually kill her. And the spirits decide it's not her time, so they raise her from the dead. And that's the entire story. I just kind of spoiled everything for you, but it is really good. Okay, trust me, that's the plot. You got to check out the story. The Joker 80th page special. You know, at some point in time, I'm going to do a story-by-story review of these things. Tell you the truth, this is one of the better ones. It does have a Riley Rossmo. It's got Harley Quinn in it, but the story is enough. This is it. Riley Rossmo's art is horrible, by the way. The story in it, though, is strong enough to overcome the bad art. Overall, though, the stories are interesting and fun and sometimes kind of scary as far as that character is concerned. The Plunge, issue number 3. Wow. So I wasn't going to buy this one. I was done. The first 2 issues were good, but just not good enough to keep me going. And I went, you know what? What the hell? Give it one more try. Give it one more issue because something was compelling me, and holy Toledo, am I glad that I did. I really am. This is just kind of bumped up to 11. So the people that should be old and dead by now kind of explain things to the crew, and it is a you do what we say or you're going to die kind of thing. And we find out what they really are. It's an incredibly good story. The Joe Hill comics are definitely something I would recommend you check out, and in particular, this one. Daredevil Inferno. This is number 20. I told you these are old. Okay, I love this one. This is absolutely the end of an action movie where you've got all the bad guys destroying the city, and they're actually making Stiltman kind of look badass here. I love the bit where the Kingpin comes in to rescue his city, but kind of just to be seen as he's rescuing his city, if you know what I mean. Overall, it's great characterization during action, and that is hard to do, and you don't get a lot from Marvel these days. All America Comics. So this is from the creators of America Chavez. And look, I can understand them not liking the direction that America Chavez has gone in. As much as I love the Marvel series, it was horrible. This, on the other hand, manages to not only make America their own, but it also manages to parody that crappy comic from National Treasure Gabby Rivera. I am under obligation to say that. Check it out. It's really cool. Deceased, Hope at World's End, number 3. This one has the Flash and the Flash family trying to deal with the virus. And they're pretty much saying, hey, they're the ones that can do it because they can run around destroying the electronics before the signal affects them, or at least that's the plan. And it's done very well. So far, these Hope at World's End stories have been very interesting. I highly recommend all of them, this one included. Joker Harley Criminal Insanity number 4. I've been enjoying this storyline. I know it gets flack for being the pretty Joker story, but I like the character of Harley Quinn better in this than I ever have in almost any other form. And this is, while it is not as good as other issues, this still is a very good story that I got to tell you, has great atmosphere to it. I'm just waiting. I want to see the fall of Harley Quinn, this character in particular. Wonder Woman Dead Earth, my number 1 book of the month, whatever you want to call it here. Dude, this is another one I was almost done with, and I said, okay, one more. And holy Toledo, we get the origin of what killed the Earth, and guess what? Wonder Woman. As her bracelets were removed, she just went bonkers, and she is the one that even killed Superman. And the ending where we see her standing with Superman's spine and skull to use as a bludgeoning weapon, brava. I am so waiting for issue number 4. So there you go, guys. Those are the reviews. What'd you think? I understand you probably read some of these, but did I put something too high? Did I put something too low? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to click like, share, subscribe. Ring that notification bell if you haven't done it already. And if you do appreciate the stuff we do here, click on one of the videos that are popping up. You may enjoy that one as well. Also, if you'd like to help out the channel, go on over to Patreon. Drop $1 in the till. Helps keep the lights on, helps keep making videos for you. I'd like to thank everybody who's already done that, and to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.